Yo, 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 yo. They should have been sadder yos. I know Jeremy, big Hampton guy. I said we weren't going to start the show with this, but
Man,
it just
you
came
just
over
coming
me.
out with the bad news right away.
I'm so sorry. I had the images queued up, so I guess we're just going to lead off. I mean,
no Flacco
save
news.
it.
No,
We'll save it with Flacco.
We're starting off with Hampton's injured.
We'll
How's it
save
feel?
it. We'll save it with the 40-year-old. Please save my Bengals players season quarterback. But I will say the nice thing, the only shining light about the IR stint is it does sound like it will be closer to 4 games. I know IR sometimes can mean closer to like 6 to 8, and especially when it's immediate IR. But I've been hearing it sounds like potentially 4 or 5. Get him for the playoff runs on your teams. But yeah, just terrible. I mean, he was getting a nice run out. No Najee. Chargers offense, I mean, they are just injury riddled. You have any words other than feels bad, man, or should I just pull up the Flacco graphic?
I mean, it's tough. I mean, it's part of the game. Unfortunately, you like the usage you saw. There's a reason I said, hey, back in the day, what's the difference between GT and Hampton? It's like realistically, if you're picked in the first round, they're going to really give you a chance to thrive. But I mean, pick up their backups on waivers if they're available, and it's next man up, even in fantasy.
Yeah, we see. I know Dabadoobie here. What's up? Kamani Vidal or Haskins? I'll add both, but the answer was always the Gus Bus. I know they released him heading into this season, and obviously after the Najee signing as well and the Hampton draft pick. I think there was a report that it says they're going to look to bring in a free agent. I mean, there's some interesting guys out there. I mean, I don't know, interested like the Ezekiel Elliott's, the the Gus Bus, obviously. But I think if I had to pick one and was like, who next week will score the most fantasy points, I'd probably lean Haskins just based off of, I feel like, what we've seen most recently with both of them and the Michigan connection with Harbaugh. But I mean, I don't feel great about either of those. I think the answer is just please continue the insane pass rate Chargers, and more Lad McConkey, please, more cowbell.
Yeah, I mean, I think you got to add in as well the banged up offensive line. Like they might have been hitting their offensive line worse than any other team, with losing both their tackles as well as Becton's been in and out. So even if you're like, oh, sick, I got Haskins or Vidal, I'm not feeling like one of them's gonna have a Dowdle type week, and you're like winning your week because you started one of them.
And we saw a pretty close to even split this last week too. So I don't think it's necessarily going to be which Cardinals guy is going to get the Michael Carter workload week 1. I think it's going to be a pretty nasty split. But let's switch it up. Let's go to Flacco, man. The 5th, 6th.
A little bit more positive vibes.
I texted my friend. I have a shout out to Alex. We are co-managing a team where we are hurting at the QB2 spot and have JJ McCarthy hurt and obviously on a bye this week. Traded for Mac Jones last week. We'll see if he plays this week for, the Purdy turf toe stuff. But we had Russell Wilson and Joe Flacco, and I was like, please, Bengals 5th, 6th round swap for one of these guys. And it happened. We got Joe Flacco. I know people are talking about the offensive line woes that we saw experience for Flacco with the Browns, and then obviously going to another terrible offensive line team with the Bengals. But I mean, this has to be somewhat of an upgrade. I think for all pass catchers, I'm most excited about Chase Brown. I mean, we're seeing the Bengals have a pretty high pass rate, so I think I'm hoping for the check down Charlie for Flacco. I mean, hopefully the offense is just better overall.
I mean, I think you see that in a lot of offenses that can't run. Like I think about the Dolphins last year that could not protect. I mean, they barely can protect now, but when an offense can't really just run the ball between the tackles, they can utilize the screen game, the checkdowns to basically emulate some sort of pass or rushing offense. And I think, like you said, I mean, Chase Brown should have a much better floor. I mean, I also I'll come out. This is my Reddit confessional. I certainly was wrong on the Browning outlook for him being someone that could perform. But I also do think if you look at the defenses that the Bengals faced in the past 3 weeks, they are much stiffer defenses than they will face for the rest of the year. Yeah. So given that, whether it's Flacco or Browning, I still feel optimistic that whoever is playing certainly will improve from what we've seen the past 3 weeks, because it is a bit of a culture shock of, oh crap, like we lost Burrow and now you're going into some of the best defenses in the league and expected to perform.
Yeah. All right, what is the Flacco price? What's up, Matt? 12 by 11, super flex. Would you send a third rounder? I would probably try to find a cheaper way. There's a lot of interesting like quarterback spots. I'd probably wait out to see some of these other injuries too. Like you could probably get. It's kind of tough, right? I mean, Mac Jones, you're only getting a week if that happens. What I would do on teams where you kind of need these quarterbacks. I mean, this is why you can't retroactively go back and add all these backup quarterbacks that are making these starts throughout the weeks. But what you can do is in the future, add guys like Tyler Huntley, for example. I mean, it sounds like if Lamar were to miss this week, they potentially would immediately be benching Cooper Rush for Huntley. Because I assume like somebody that's really searching for Joe Flacco is dealing either with bye weeks or injuries, not necessarily like you're locking in for rest of the season. But if you are, would you send like a 4/3 swap for Flacco on a team where you really needed a QB2 and the rest of your team was in a good contending space and you're like, I just need a quarterback to plug in there. I got Josh Allen, but I've got Joe Burrow out for the year. Let me, I was counting on Browning being something. Let me send a 4/3 swap for Flacco.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think that's one of the reasons you would have those picks to do those swaps.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're a team where it's like I am already over leveraged and I only have 1/3 in the next 3 years, then maybe you're like, okay, like I'll just I'll start Vidal or someone random in my super flex spot and just live with it because I don't have the ability to go out and buy these players. But in a vacuum, yeah, I mean, I think it's like a third, fourth swap for a starting quarterback for potentially the rest of the year, even if it's not a high upside one. It's hard to pass up that price.
Yeah. All right. And Justin, I want to hit your message first. I saw this come through, unfortunately, before I was able to pull up the widget extension that helps me pull up the chat messages. But we've got you here. Hey, friends, just got the super team designation. Let's go. Congrats. For the first time last week. So pretty pumped about that. But I think I could use some depth. Should I wait till later in the season to buy depth? And I think that's a great question. I know a lot of people feel it during the bye weeks. You've got, Nico Collins on bye and you're looking at who you could plug in. You're getting kind of nervous about the projection of that. I'm sure you will say as well that depth is something that I only like to buy when I need it. I think the worst thing you can do is trade picks for players, one, that you're not starting at all, and two, that are minimal better projections than other players you have. Like you're trading for Rashid Shaheed and setting a second, or whatever, and getting something back instead of just playing Wan'Dale Robinson, like those kind of trades I almost never want to do. I like saving my picks when I need them for the moves like the Flacco one we talked about. That's like, I need this. Like if I don't have a super flex quarterback, my projection is terrible. Are you in the same boat there?
Yeah. I mean, I think too, if you're sitting there with a super team designation, it's like, okay, I mean, what are you missing out? Like what more do you need? Like when I see a super team, what it tells me is I need to go out and get picks, right? Like, can I build for the future because my foundation now is solid? Sure, I can plug into Flacco or whoever whenever that comes up, but there's no need for me to take on the risk of holding on to the next Jake Browning type that gets replaced because I was like, I need to have a starting QB3. When reality is you don't need it until you need it.
Yeah, definitely. And we've got, let's see, we've got, I know Brenden here said, Will, it's not what you're supposed to say. I'm trying to give him Shakir, LOL. And a shout out to Khalil Shakir. I feel like he falls kind of in that camp of players that, like those like depth buys that I am never trying to pay their actual price for. And I'm just happy to play the worst projection that I have on my bench, Like Darius Slayton, sounds like he's hurt, but like
don't you
those type of
mean
players.
That our rule only applies for non-Khalil Shakir players?
True, yeah. I mean, Bills, Josh Allen.
Yeah, you should definitely.
Should I whip out the card?
Shakir.
I mean, he's got this guy throwing him the ball.
Already,
I mean, come on.
9 minutes in. 9 minutes in. You gotta.
Hey, no, look what I got. Come on.
You know he has a trading card, Josh Allen.
Let's go.
A new one.
That one is like a $1 card, but what's good, boys? What's up, William? All right, Rice.
No one has to know that.
True. It's like a $100 card. Rice or BTJ, Kondranos.
There we go.
I think they're in the same kind of tier for me, even with the BTJ stink. I mean, had a better game this last one. I don't know if you're watching the game. Man, can you imagine if you dropped that ball? Like he kind of fumbled that dive. He did bobble it.
He was like,
oh, it would have been over.
Like the slow motion.
Get him off my team.
I mean, I just want to say that was the most Trevor Lawrence way to win a game,
Dude,
like ever. It's like
you guys see Chris Jones on that?
Amazing, and then moments of just trash. It was like him stumbling on the ground. I was like, of course he's just gonna pick it up and run into the end zone.
With this being said, I think I usually like making these same tier bets on the ADV aspect, and obviously BTJ's kind of got that stink on him. And I'm excited about this Chiefs. I don't want to say the Chiefs passing offense is back, but I think what we've seen in the past couple weeks, especially with them just being unable to run the football, I am getting pretty excited about my Mahomes, my Worthy, my Rice, even my Kelsey. On my final one, give me one more year, please, tight end teams. So I'm probably leaning. They're in the same tier, so I'm not gonna like make a hard call either way. But I don't know. I'm kind of excited about the Chiefs. Am I getting too excited going Rice over BTJ?
My only concern with Rice is the amount that Mahomes can tend to spread the ball around.
Yeah.
Like what I want is a very consolidated target share. But that being said, it's not like BTJ. Yeah, I mean, Dwame Brown and stuff is getting involved. So I still would probably lean Rice just because BTJ has been kind of a mess all year. And even though he had that one amazing catch to kind of win the game, not even kind of win the game, but actually to win the game, it's not one that, I mean, if he didn't have that catch, everyone would have been like, another one of these BTJ games where he's like AJ Brown, not getting enough done.
Yeah.
So I'd probably just lean Rice and say, hey, like Rice could just walk in there and demand, 12, 15 targets a game and be this guy that has to kind of carry a lot of the short yard work that's the run game used to carry.
I don't want to make this question about Travis Hunter. I am going to, I need like give me a 5-week where I can just hold my bags, watch that game. Guys, I know we talked about this in the rookie tier list, panic tier list. I do think it is so much of a like offensive understanding playbook thing for him that he's not like necessarily playing more on offense because man, he looks so good out there. But yeah, I don't want to get. We should move on before I start talking too much about Travis Hunter. I'm just saying, Bill,
Travis Hunter moments.
Bill. I gotta do accurate. What's up, fellas? What's up, Brenden? I will say, Bill. I'm gonna spoiler alert. Can I do the spoiler alert? Sorry. No. You do. Did you see that?
No. You do. You yes, no. You.
Tomorrow, probably we are dropping the Dynasty Daddy weekly video. We are talking about 5 of the most traded players, and I will tell you, Bill made the list. We talk about some Bill trades.
We do. Bill's an interesting one. I will say. Did you see the Commanders posted that Bill Nye the Science Guy clip?
Oh,
or that edit that was
any first. Give me Bill.
But yeah, I mean Bill's certainly one of those interesting players. I kind of compared him to in the video, compared him to like Pacheco, with the Pacheco hype where it was this late round
2
guy
years ago. Pacheco
people liked him. Yeah, rookie year, where it's literally
right.
People liked him. Everyone's like, this is a good 7th round sleeper. And then all of a sudden he starts dominating, takes over the backfield. And the fact that Bill is getting the usage that he is, has the opportunity that he is, and is in one of the best offenses in the league, there's a lot of upside here to be excited about.
Brenden, you're allowed.
Brenden, you get the biggest victory lap.
I think a year-long victory lap for the 1-9, even if like this doesn't hold and we get the Woody Marks rug pull next week and he gets relegated to being behind Chris Rodriguez.
I mean, when we do the redraft, I don't even know if
we're gonna do that tonight.
JCM will be there at 109.
Let us. I was gonna say let us know. I'm gonna post the link. We're gonna get through some of these questions. So we're in a good place. We're gonna go quick lightning mode, and we are going to do a rookie redraft. Got the sleeper link right here, sent to Jeremy already, and you guys are in. The poll closed. 3 votes to 2, I believe. the chat being involved won.
You did
join the Discord.
Everyone.
Is that an add everyone thing?
Everyone.
I get a little nervous about adding everyone, you know?
I know you get spooked.
I was that one guy. It was that one guy that was like, why are you adding everyone? It's like, dude, it's like we're adding everyone for like the YouTube videos, the Dynasty Daddy. No, it's fine. All right. What's the Swift price? Ooh, Kyle coming in hot. Fresh off the bye.
Taylor?
A second or 10 by 10 Swift price, a second or 2/3. I think a second is fair for like Swift type running back bets. I mean, if I could, I'd buy Swift for 2/3, even though I don't love Swift.
2/3 is a great. Yeah, 2/3 is a great price for Swift.
Second's fair.
I think a second's fair.
There's teams where I would move Swift for a second, and there's teams where I'd buy Swift for a second. He's not my favorite in that range of running backs, but I think he's worth that. If you add me, all right, Kondranos. Next time, instead of adding everyone, I'm just gonna add Kondranos so I can make sure we have at least one vote in there. What's up, Becca? I gave you a pause to say hi to Becca. I don't know if you want to say hi as well. All right, Logan.
I will
here.
say. Okay, yeah.
No, did we win this week? I need the recap.
We did. Becca just gave the update.
Oh, let's go.
And all the haters,
and you started JCM. Let's go.
Haters.
That's a no ball take.
JCM. We started Egbuka.
Bang.
We started Judkins.
Bang.
All the picks that they're like, ooh, reach. You're just too high on the rookie hype. What do they have to say now?
One shout out to me I'm going to give. I don't think any of them watched this stream. My least favorite redraft league I'm in is one my buddy invited me to with some of his like family. It's like his family friends. And it's like, it's somewhat competitive, but it is auction. I love auction drafts, but it's standard. And I hate standard so much. It's just like so touchdown based.
Yeah, that's rough.
And you get to keep a player on your roster for what you bid them, like what you got them in the auction last year. So it's like whoever hits on the Puka, the Kyren, just like wins the next league.
Yeah, it's the keeper.
And guess who got Judkins for $1? Yeah, boy. So we get a free Judkins next year. Let's go.
Next year you're gonna be feeling good.
I know. I'm like 2-4 right now, or 2-3 right now. So I'm just locked in for next year. I told my buddy I wouldn't complain about the league this year. William here, 12-man league, 10-man teams, 12 by 10.
I love that your friend's like, dude, can you please stop complaining about this?
I just complained to him.
It's just with like my family.
No,
it's just with my family, dude. Could you stop complaining about this?
Okay, if I have to add one more complaint, it's a 12-team league. 8 teams make the playoffs. There's no buys. It's just 8 teams. Like, why do we even have a regular season? Just put everyone in the playoffs. Sorry, 12 by 10. I have Derrick Henry in one of my flex spots on a contending team. I got offered a first and a second for him. Do I panic, sell, or hold? I mean, in 12 by 10, especially if he's in the flex and you're contending, that makes me feel like you probably have other options that could replace him. And I mean, let's be completely honest. No Lamar this next week against the Rams. There's a lot of players I'd start over Derrick Henry, unfortunately. So yeah, I'd cash out for a first and a second, even if you're using that to buy another contending piece.
This is an instant smash for me because I mean I have some leagues where I'm like a borderline contender and I have like CMC and I'm like, okay, either I push all in or I try to see if I can sell, and I can't even sell Christian McCaffrey for a first and second, who is, RB3 or whatever and like top 6 player in fantasy football right now. Yeah. So the fact that you can get a first, second for Derrick Henry, like you said above. Or who was it? Shouts to Kyle. Talking about Swift. I mean, you can go buy a Swift type player for a second, bank that first. So then you can say, cool, like I just replaced Henry with Swift, and Swift has already had his bye and has been scoring pretty similarly to Derrick Henry the past couple weeks, at least. So I mean, this is a great opportunity just to de-risk from a old player in an offense that's not going to be in the lead a lot and not going to want to run the ball as much.
Yeah, and I don't think Derrick Henry's like, oh, it's done, pack it up. This guy's going to be, RB32 when we end the season. But it is just like all of what's the opposite? I always talk about the nuts outcomes. Whatever the opposite of the nuts is for Derrick Henry is what is happening right now with the Lamar injury. The defense is terrible. The Ravens are playing from behind, more Justice Hill than we want. I mean, he gets 15 carries in this game. I mean, anytime Derrick Henry gets 15 carries. One of those could be a 60-yard touchdown, of course. But yeah, for me, I think we fall into the trap too much in Dynasty of caring about a perceived projection of a player instead of a range of outcomes for that. So when people are sending a first and a second for Derrick Henry, it's like, okay, great. You know, I think Derrick Henry could give you, you know, a 15-point, 20-point game for sure, like we saw week 1. But there's other players that can give you a similar range of outcomes to Derrick Henry that you don't have to pay a first and a second for.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, that's just one of those deals where it's like I can figure it out, and the fact that you get all that flexibility is just, you know, worth it.
Yeah. Ooh, it's an interesting one. Charbonnet or Benson on a rebuilder. That is kind of interesting. I probably would be trying to find a different trade on a rebuilder than like a running back, even though I understand like liking the upside, but sorry, all my rebuilding teams, I usually just strip to the studs at the running back position. Like I moved off of Gibbs for Brees in a first, and moved off of Brees for a Nabers trade. But you guys don't care about my leagues. What would you? I'll throw this over to you, Jeremy. When I start yapping,
we'll got
for
yeah,
20 seconds.
You got pulled into it.
I'll let you go full camp for this one.
Yeah, I mean, I think the way I would approach it is like, can you get a plus or either side? And I would just take that, right? Benson in a third for Chardonnay, Chardonnay in a third for Benson.
That's his
If
right
I had
now.
to just pick pure player takey, I'd probably go Chardonnay, just because even when Benson was in there, there was a clear gap between, you know, James Conner and what Benson was able to do in that, which is kind of the concern, is like, if he's not an efficient runner like Conner, you know, why are they going to lean on him as much and get the usage that you want? And Chardonnay is someone that, sure, he gets those weird goal line touches and doesn't have the explosion of like a Kenneth Walker, but I'm still a decent fan of what he's put out, and they obviously trust him.
Yeah. I'd probably lean. I think Benson has like the upside of heading into next season. You can get more for him. If like, I think he has the most realistic outcome to have like a huge value gain coming off the injury with like a couple decent games at the end of the year heading into next season with like the counter injury and everything. But yeah, I agree. I'm trying to get the plus side, even if it's like a third or something. I do that.
Yeah, it's kind of like, you know, how into the weeds you want to get. At the end of the day, it's the same type of bet.
Yeah, for sure. What's up, Big Diaz? There was a trade in the Charlie Daddy League. This is the best ball one. I am going to pull that up. We'll hit that one before we get into the rookie draft.
I didn't know if it was like a command, like trade. You must trade in the
I need to. I traded my first, so I probably should be making some moves to. I freaking lost to the median. I was one of those teams that loses to the median by like a point.
I forgot if I
on the
won
wrong
in
side.
that league.
Yeah, I think you're in first. That kind of makes me upset. That it's fine. All right, Alex. Yeah, you like smoked me last week, and now you're like, yeah, I don't know if I won. Alex here got offered to 26.
Okay, you can just look at the Alpha Daddy leagues. I've yet to win anything.
My Bravo Daddy league is my favorite, and I'm 0-5 with just like 6 first-round picks. That's what makes me happy. I got offered a 26 first for Davante Adams. Thoughts? Yeah, Davante. I think Davante is going to be his like air yard share is pretty good. He's kind of playing the more downfield role, but I mean Stafford's balling right now.
What was it? Route share? What was it? The video earlier today. We were recording. Will said route share, and he said cut.
Yeah, I started.
We got to do another take.
When Will starts talking about ball too much, and I know ball. I know ball until I start talking for too long.
Yeah.
I mean, I will say it, like, I'm as a contending piece, I like Davante Adams, the situation for the next few seasons, and wouldn't surprise me at all if Stafford plays for one more year. But yeah, and on a team where like you care about having Davante Adams, like obviously we could talk about like, oh, if you don't need him, you can move him for a first for sure. But like on a team where he like, you know, kind of matters to you, like, you'd be plugging in like a Wandale or something instead. Are you fine moving off of him for a first? I think you could probably get Davante or AJ Brown. Because I think 26 first is like, you could probably get AJ Brown pretty easily for 26 first right now.
That's a hard one, because I feel like if I'm doing
opening up a whole can of worms with AJ
like
Brown
trading
question.
away a first.
Yeah.
A little bit, because like to me, I'm like, if you are trading a first for Davante Adams, to me I need a win now piece that instantly performs. And like an AJ Brown for a first, I think is probably a better longer term play, because okay, if he doesn't perform as well this year, he probably will get traded or something like that and end up in a different situation. And he's younger, should be able to perform. Um, but yeah, I mean, I wonder. I'm not opposed to doing this, but I also feel like there's other things I could probably do with that first.
Yeah.
Before just being like, yeah, give me like the 32-year-old wide receiver that might be gone in like a year and a half.
Yeah, I'm probably taking the first side. I think history has shown that more often than not, like getting the first, and even if it's not making that pick next year and it's using it in a different way, like that side comes out on top. And like I talked about with ranges of outcomes for players, like I think Davante Adams has pretty high touchdown upside. Like we've just seen Puka just dominates between the 20s, and then you get down to the red zone, and like if he's not getting a end around touchdown run from the 7-yard line, it's a pass to Davante Adams. So I like that upside, but yeah, I think there's other projections that are probably like 70-80% of what Davante Adams will give you, and I'll just bank the first on top of that.
I mean, there's also the Stafford question as well of like, okay,
Yeah.
Stafford walks away. And not that I think either Puka or Adams won't be good. We've seen Adams and Puka both, well, not Puka, but we've seen Adams thrive in different situations with different quarterbacks. But it's still, one of the benefits of a Stafford is he hyper targets so much. That's where you get that juicy fantasy football production that is worth a first. But, if that situation changes, I wouldn't be feeling as good with like Jimmy Garoppolo or, some rookie that they pick in 2026.
All right, what's better, 2/3 or a second? Genuinely don't know. I think the league would have to be pretty deep for me to take the 2/3 side. I mean, obviously, if those picks were, a mid to late second, I'm moving for early thirds or whatever. But just like all things equal, most of the time I'm taking the second round pick. Like I think it's so much easier to trade back in rookie drafts anyways than to trade up. So I think you're just almost always wanting to take the earlier pick. Like if you start talking about 3/3 in a deep league, like, yeah, I'd take that over the second in most cases. But yeah, I think 2/3 I'm going the second.
To me, it's like optics, not to get all optics focused, but if you are trying to get a first round pick and you say, hey, I'll trade you X player plus a second for that first, or I'll trade X player plus 2/3 for that first, what one is going to most likely be accepted? It's the second.
Yeah.
It's just, even if it's a late second and they're early thirds, the fact that it's a second, it's the same thing with a late first and an early second. It's like, really, they're basically the same pick, but there's a big gap in value until that pick is truly locked in. So to me, like, give me the second, gives me way more flexibility just from the optics of it's a second, not a third.
What's up, Spy Russ? What are your thoughts on Bowers, Geno laying like a trash can? Yeah, it is a combination of a couple things. I mean, offensive line is terrible. Geno has not been good, and Bowers has been hurt. It's like the opposite of the nuts outcome for Brock Bowers.
I love that. That's a new thing. That opposite of the nuts.
Well, I do like talking about like the run out for players, and like we talked about, Jordan Mason, not on his own right, but he was a part of a trade in the trade.
Are you on Hampton when you're giving me the work in the beginning?
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, Bowers, I think, is a good dynasty buy right now because he's one of those pieces I'm so confident is an elite asset. I mean, we saw it at week one, even in this, what has become to be a terrible offensive situation and perform. So him being attainable, like those kind of assets being attainable makes me want to buy Bowers, but not for he's going to smash this season and this is going to be the final piece in my 0.75 in premium league that's going to win me the title if you're paying those prices.
Yeah, I mean, I think you kind of have to just, push the brakes a little bit on this season outlook. Long term, I don't think much changes. I mean, we've seen players come back from his current injury and succeed. But yeah, I mean, you can't feel great saying I'm going to pay an elite price on a guy that's banged up and probably going to be banged up for a little while.
I think most people would take Jake Ferguson.
Add on to Geno. Oh yeah, certainly. I mean,
So,
Jake Ferguson's targets are insane. I mean, we'll have to see how that looks once CD's back as well.
dude, that I shout out to, I think it was Jacob Gibbs from CBS talked about the Cowboys are, I'm totally going to butcher this. It is at the very least a massive jump in motion rate, and that is like the cheat code for NFL offenses versus last year. And I think they're one of the highest motion rate teams in the NFL, which opens up so much. And Dak is balling right now.
Oh yeah, he's doing great.
Excited to see where Judkins goes in the rookie redraft today. Yep, we're gonna we'll crank these out. I got the trade ready. We'll pull that up, and then we'll get into this rookie draft.
Famous last words.
I know.
Let's do a quick lightning round.
I can see, if I can see all the trades on my screen, I feel confident. It's just once I start yapping, and we were about to get a yap session, so I'm gonna move on. Brenden here, probably right behind Genty and Ibuka, to be honest, can make an argument ahead of Genty. We'll see. There's a lightning round answer for you. We'll see. We'll talk about it. Next up, what's a fair price
a
for?
Teaser.
Ooh, this is an interesting one. Mike Evans in a 10x10. I think potentially this week or next. He did not go to IR, so we're heading into this. I think this is going to be week 3 of the injury of him being out. So this week or next, he'll probably be back.
Mike Evans, yeah.
We saw Chris Godwin come back. You know, it is going to be like a quote unquote crowded receiver room, but I feel confident that the Sterling Shepard, usage and whatever K. Dotton does for that team is going to open way for these 3 to ball. And Baker is balling. His team's throwing. Bucky's probably going to be out for a couple weeks.
And Bucky's also, Bucky's out for a bit too.
Like Davante Adams for a first or Mike Evans for a second.
Oh, definitely Mike Evans for a second.
That's what I'm thinking. And that's what makes me not want to buy or pay a first for a player like Davante, because I do feel like you could probably get Mike Evans for a second, especially with the Ibuka breakout, coming off the injury, feeling like, hey, this might be my last chopper out of, Mike Evans to sell him for a second right now. So I do you think a second's a fair price? Like, would you pay a second for Mike Evans on a team where you need a contending asset?
I would definitely pay for a second. I don't know. I feel like I'd be like, hey, can I get a little bit more?
You don't want like an interesting, like a Brashard Smith in a second or something.
Yeah. Yeah, like I'd probably be like, I need a little bit more.
Agreed, stir. You're 1-4 Alpha Daddy team.
Unless if I'm like a pure rebuild and I'm like, I'll just take whatever I can. But like if I'm a team I'm pretty decent and I'm like, Evans is kind of a nice flex piece. Yeah. And someone's like, here's just a second. I'd be like, like you need to convince me to move him.
Matt here, 12x11, Superflex PPR, 0.75, 10 in premium best ball, which is the format. Are we 12x11 in the Charlie Daddy? I should know that. 0.75, 10 in premium best ball. Nabers and Hampton.
Don't check it.
Or Marv, Rice, and Sharps. Nabers, Hampton. I mean, this is the IR team versus the active team. Marv, Rice, and Sharp. Oof.
It's best ball too, right?
It is best ball.
I assume if you're getting Nabers in Hampton, you're like, hey, I'm rebuilding.
Yeah, like it is one of those trades that, like, would you pay basically on a team where it makes sense for you to cash out and like hold the IR, like you're 0-10 at this point against the league median, you're 2-8. Would you cash out
0-10?
Marv, Rice, Sharp for Nabers, Hampton, and just hold it this year? Like, how much does Sharp matter to you?
I mean, Sharp doesn't matter, especially if I'm like consolidating to a Nabers, Hampton. I know consolidation in best ball formats isn't as impactful, but to me, I'm like, hey, I also get these points off my roster, and I can just lock in guys that are probably on IR for most of it. And then I can always sell. Like if Hampton comes back as crushing, I can sell him for, 2 random players and then fill out the rest of my roster. Yeah. But yeah, I think this is a decent deal, honestly, for both sides. I assume that Nabers and Hampton is probably a team that's looking pretty solid. And then you're like, hey, I'll give you 2 young, high upside wide receivers, maybe high upside with Marv. And then, Sharp is the perfect type of back that you want in the best ball league. That's someone that is cheap, someone that's touching the ball. He's not going to give you a 0, but he also, isn't going to be like a bell cow guy.
Get you a goal line score.
Overpay for.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he can score a touchdown randomly, and you're like, oh, cool, he cracked my lineup.
Yeah, I am taking this from the perspective of like what team is it better for, like the contending team that's cashing out, because I think it's a great trade for both sides. I think it's like that's kind of the price you have to pay to like move off of hurt assets in a dynasty league, in a dynasty best ball league, because they're obviously not scoring points for you the whole season. I am pretty new to dynasty best ball, but in my opinion and understanding, I think I can recreate elite wide receiver production better than I can recreate like smash running back production. Like, yes, we saw this last week. Rico Dowdle, Michael Carter, like you can kind of like maneuver waiver wires and make trades to like add that. But I think just like from a roster construction standpoint, it's easier to just be stacked enough at receivers that have roles that can give you weeks versus what Hampton was just giving you before the IR stint.
Yeah, I mean, with best ball, like my strategy is just like inverse, basically. Yeah. It's like give me a bunch of cheap players at wide receiver and at quarterback because they'll randomly pop off. Like in my Charlie Daddy league, number 1 in the league, I think, according to Will. I got like Spencer Rattler cracking my starting lineup. I got like a bunch of random dudes. I have Mitchell Evans, rookie tight end for the Panthers, touchdowns in the past 2 weeks. But yeah, just random dudes that will crack the starting lineup. But at running back, you want those bell cow guys. Yeah. I just want guys that I'm like stud, and I don't want to have all these random backup running backs that are getting zeros on my roster.
Right.
Like I want guys that are playing because they are going to actually, get me meaningful moments. And that's one of the reasons like Sharp is one of those weird guys that he is actually playing. So it's not like he's giving you nothing, but it's certainly not a Hampton where you can lock in a Hampton when he's playing and not have to really worry about, oh, what's my, RB1, RB2 look like?
Yeah. Scared.
I will say Big DS. Shouts to Big DS. I've never been a dynasty best ball, but it's nice not having to do lineups every week. I'm like, oh, I can just let that happen. So
I committed to card. You know what? Maybe this was like a. I think my cardinal rule in startups is like don't trade your first round pick unless it is like you absolutely know it's an amazing deal. And I did that in the Charlie Daddy League for the wrong rookie tight end. I got a little format scared. So I think it's going to be a learning lesson. I'm going to be able to really come to these best ball trades with a perspective of I've battle tested. I have been in your shoes. I've learned, and I've come out on the other side. Hopefully. Evening, gents. What up, Birds Builds? Birds Builds in the Charlie Daddy League. We're going to pull up the trade here in a second. Chase Brown, newly QB'd Joe Flacco, Chase Brown, for David Montgomery, Mooney, and a second 10-man Superflex PPR. What we feeling? Ooh, 10-man. These shallow leagues.
And PPR.
If I could see myself taking the Chase Brown side, if Monty, Moody are like rarely or barely going to crack my lineup, and I just want to make the upside bet of the future of Chase Brown. If this was like a 12 by 10, I'm probably taking the Monty Mooney second side.
Yeah, I mean, I think if it's 12 by 10, I guess, we don't know how many starters that moves has. Honestly, I don't hate this this tier down though, because that offense isn't looking incredible, and the fact that Monty will have those crazy weeks, so you're like, oh, sick.
Monty
just scored 3 touchdowns because, he's going to be amazing some weeks. And Mooney's he's not great right now, but he could be a decent bye week guy once we get into like week 8, week 9. And you get a second. I don't hate this, especially if you are a team that needs value. Splitting guys like that and picking up a second is certainly a decent move.
Yeah. All right, I got to pull it up. Diaz just had to have that. Wait, who was it that you traded up for? So I actually did trade. The first round pick was with Big Diaz. Took advantage of me, and he knew I was new to the league.
Come on, Diaz.
Hey, you know what? I'm gonna meet me next week when we have the post bye week rookie bump. Colston Loveland, 80% snap share, 75% route share, 7 receptions for 80 yards and a touchdown.
I'm 9-1 in this league. Okay.
All right, Birds. 1-9, holding my own first. Okay. Does my terrible trade feel a little less terrible because it was hurt players for not hurt players. That's the only reason I sent it. Can you send me a trade for some of your not hurt players for some of my hurt players? I shouldn't be holding them. Can you bail me out? A.J. Lee. Is Bucky and a late first enough value to move off of Gibbs? Looking to regroup for next year. Ooh, Bucky and a late first. I love Gibbs, man. And I love Bucky.
Bucky and a late first.
I think I might like this Bucks offense enough to take Bucky in the first. Yeah. I love Gibbs.
I'm all in. I'm all in, Bucky. Preseason,
especially if you're fine with this year hurting you. Like it's hurting you for this year and you're fine with it. Like that's perfect.
Yeah, I mean the fact that you get a first on top of Gibbs or on top of Bucky.
Yeah.
And like what's the difference when a healthy Bucky and a healthy Gibbs are in the lineup? It's like realistically it's not. I mean, we saw Bucky going crazy. So to me it's like, yeah, if I'm regrouping, this is a perfect regrouping trade of let me take the injured guy. Let me take the first. And now Bucky's going to come back and still be worth 2 first and be basically Gibbs light. And then I get a first round pick. And sure, everyone's like, oh, it's a late first. I mean, there's a lot of good players that are late first round picks. I mean, Tyler Warren was a late first round pick this year. I mean, yeah. So I'm not scared about making a deal like this, especially if I'm regrouping. This is a perfect type of deal to make. Especially
with, I mean, the start of the season for Bucky, like, the rushing inefficiency, I mean, the workload was insane, right? We're getting 4 to 6 receptions a game. He's breaking these big plays. We know he can do that. The rushing efficiency looked really bad to start the season. I mean, Tristan Wirfs was out. You had other Tampa Bay offensive line injuries. Like, I just believe in Baker and this offense enough. And seeing that role for Bucky at the start of the season, especially when you look at what he did to end the year last year, like literally relegated Rachaad White to not being involved at all in some like key games last year. Now I think he will be involved in the future, and he was involved in these first 4 weeks anyways. But if I'm getting 18 touches from Bucky, yeah, I'll take that for a first. Moving off. All right, we're gonna hit the trade here. Nabers getting really hurt helps this 101 to look more plausible. Yeah, that when that happens and you can't like find a way to cash out and it doesn't make sense, you just kind of have to eat it, unfortunately. Ooh, Jake here. I do want to, we should talk about this, man. Is Dowdle the real deal? Unfortunately, don't have the inside source for this one, but the game certainly helped with sales. Yeah, dude, insane. Dowdle, he deserves the graphic. Come on, what am I doing? How are we talking about Rico Dowdle and not pulling up the performance we got here?
Jake, I will say I don't know how long you've worked at the Panthers, but as a lifelong Panthers fan, this game reminded me of Panthers Lions from a couple years back. Where, Dante Foreman went crazy. He was the backup running back. He went crazy, had like 200 yards. Basically, the entire offense was just give the ball to him and he'd run for 8 yards a carry. And it was a very similar vibe this week. I was sitting there. My wife went to the game. I was at home on the couch, but watching every drive, I was just like, just give the ball to Dowdle. Like, I was like, why are we even trying to throw it? Just give the ball to Dowdle. That's what, that's what's going to happen. Yeah, Jake, the one in December. But yeah, I mean, I think he's the real deal, but I also do accept the fact that I always believed in the talent of Dowdle, but Chuba's going to come back. It's going to be some sort of split situation. And for fantasy, you're not going to be like, oh, sick. Like, I could just lock in Dowdle for 200 yards a game.
Yeah, I think he's going to be in that kind of a flex range. Canales, he did say he kind of did the, we have 2 good backs, and that's a great problem to have. So, and I mean, it's not like Dowdle's been nothing. Like he's been involved. Like you see, even these healthy Chuba games, like he's had some like goal line work too, involved in the passing game a tiny bit. So I think it probably looks closer to 8 to 12 carries and, a couple receptions. I don't think it's necessarily going to be like 60-40 Dowdle. I think it'll be closer to, 45-55.
Yeah. I mean, I will say, shouts to Dowdle. Dowdle got me 54 fantasy points in Scott Fishbowl. Got me a top 10. So
let's go. I forgot to bring that up.
Trash about him.
I should have started with the Hampton injury. I should have started with you being top 10 on the Scott Fishbowl leaderboard right now.
Well, I also have Hampton in that league, so
we got Dowdle. So
we might be.
You're good.
Next couple of weeks might be a bit of a retool.
What is JCM ceiling in your opinion? What's up, Brandon? We do talk about JCM in the video that's going to post tomorrow. Make sure you are subbed, notifications on.
Subbed.
But yeah, I know Jeremy's talked about it a couple times. Like rookie year, Isaiah Pacheco is kind of the vibe that you are kind of explaining from like a dynasty perspective, opinion for JCM. But I think like in terms of upside, what we're seeing like so immediately, and like the excitement around this offense too, and I think it's easy to imagine like Chris Rodriguez relegated to almost nothing. But still, I want to be.
That's what made me concerned.
I know I want to be somewhat realistic.
The weird Rodriguez game, like post
44
Eckler injury.
What was it? It was like, I mean, yeah, well, is he? I think he's leading the league in yards per carry right now. JCM, and he still only it was like 44%. I don't know if we'll get like. Wow, he's taking over the third down role. Like, I don't think that's super realistic. Like, I still think it's going to be some kind of gross McNichols. We're still going to see Chris Rodriguez.
We love McNichols.
Yeah, involved in some capacity. Like, that's kind of the thing with a lot of these. Like, we like to envision the bell cow, but teams don't want to play that way, and teams like their roles. Like, we saw with the Cardinals with DeMarcado. Mm-hmm. Like, they like him being that. I mean, I don't know. We'll see if they like him anymore.
Maybe.
But, we'll see. But, all right, let's pull up this trade here. So this just happened. This is a 12 by 11, I believe. Dynasty, tight end premium, 0.75.
12 by 12.
12 by 12. Start 2 tight ends. So it is very, very juiced tight end action.
Those tight ends are valuable.
This is an interesting one. We got Big Diaz getting Darren Waller, Debo, and Kenneth Walker for Woody Marks, Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, Brenton Strange, who is now headed to IR, and a 26-second. Man, and who would have thunk we would be talking about Darren Waller projected to smash for the rest of the season? And like the route share came up as expected, I think, and he looks pretty good. Like it's not just red zone touchdown stuff. Like he is literally like he's winning over the middle of the field, and that's kind of he's literally just playing slot. Like he's not playing tight end. He's playing slot receiver, big slot receiver for the Dolphins.
Yeah, I mean, I think if I have to pick a side, I got to go with Big Diaz. Big Diaz, I think I typically like to consolidate at running back from my best ball experience. So the fact that you just get you turn a Woody Marks and JCM into one spot on your roster that you feel good having as an RB2, RB3, and then you get the upside of a Debo, you get in a 2 tight end league, a Darren Waller, which in a depleted offense without Tyreek Hill, that team going to have to pass a ton, and they don't really have a good passing red zone threat outside of Waller. And you saw that in the Carolina game. Whereas
Malik Washington,
yeah, I mean they needed him. Yeah. Like it was literally like points that Waller scored, and then I think outside of that, like the Dolphins scored 3 points. I decided, so
Nick Westbrook-Ikhine is running wind sprints out there.
He's a great. Yeah, I forgot about him. I wanted him on the Titans. It feels right.
The one Nick Westbrook-Ikhine stuff that is true, unfortunately, is that they like him in 2 receiver sets, and I think they just like the Malik Washington role. Like they use Malik Washington more and give him some of the gadget stuff. What did he have? He had like 4 receptions for 0 yards for this last game. Like they're just trying to get him screens and end arounds and stuff. But yeah, I like the role for Waller, and yeah, I'm gonna agree with you. I'm gonna take the Big DS side. I like it in the second. Like, I think getting a pick on this side, especially when you're kind of accepting, like, I'm not necessarily going to buy, like, we're going to see this Bill week every week for the rest of the season. The Woody Mark rug pull, you have to be realistic about that. You got Brenton Strange on IR. So I think you're kind of accepting you're going to take a pretty big hit on production. But you're kind of making the upside bet, and you get a pick to kind of stomach the production loss, I think. But still, I like the Big DS side, especially in a 2 tight end league. Like those you need tight ends to hit your lineup to be winning each week. Like you can't take Zach Ertz 0. That kills you.
I mean, I will say he is 2 and 8. So to me, it's like, okay, cool. Like right. I am getting value for a Waller. Kenneth Walker is Kenneth Walker. Like long term, it's a little bit sketchy. And Debo's also someone where it's like next year, do I feel great about Debo? So I feel like in a way, like that's part of the fun of best balls. I feel like all these random players like a Debo and have more value because they might crack your starting lineup. So a contending team is more likely to be like, yeah, we'll buy that. And a rebuilding team's like, okay, cool. I'll take on the Krosky Merritt. I'll take on the Woody Marks and hope that I can hit on one or two of those guys. And they can be kind of like a centerpiece of my running back room as I gear up for 2027.
Yeah. And they're perfect best ball pieces, man. I mean, I know like sometimes in Dynasty, I think we lean a little bit too much into like older players that are producing. And we're like, I don't know how much I'm going to buy this being a long-term thing. But like for the next, probably not Waller. Waller's probably like got a couple seasons in him, but until he heads to IR at the end of this year, maybe 1.5 seasons. But yeah,
I drop another tape.
Yeah, as long as Debo is active and Kenneth Walker's active and healthy, these guys, they're gonna find ways to crack your best ball lineup. All right, it is time. Who is ready? Say I'm ready in the chat, and say it out loud, like you're SpongeBob in your own room. If you're ready for the draft, are you in here, Jeremy?
I am. I haven't clicked claim. Do I click claim?
Well, yeah. Why don't you click claim and then I'll randomize it. All right. Invite link is being. Oh, I probably should get in here before I post the invite link. Invite link is being put in the chats. The first 10 individuals to join. Got a couple ready individuals. There's the link.
I feel like we should have started the filling in of everything a little bit earlier. Now that I think about it.
I'm sorry for letting you down, Jeremy. Well, we can always.
No, it's fine. Because we just got a question from Will21.
Drop Allen, Jacksonville. So this is the IDP league?
RDP league.
Ooh, Will. Came to the wrong place. But no, you did not come to the wrong place.
AJ Barner.
Wait, this is crazy. I don't think I can click away.
Delete it.
I'm so sorry. I have to hide the overlay completely because it disappeared. I can't delete it. I'm too quick.
Pull up the Josh Hines Allen stats.
All right, this is going to be interesting. So we've got 6 more spots. We can definitely. Who should? Let's see. In the meantime, are you going to monitor?
I can monitor
and let me know when we're like one away, and then I'll pull it up.
Okay.
Because I think we have one chat question
in here.
I love it. We have one more Discord ask question that I'm gonna pull up here. Shout out to Labellium. Shout out to Labellium. This is a follow-up to a roster review. Hey guys, thanks Jeremy for the roster review. Super helpful. I lost this week by 1 point. Dang. I am therefore leaning towards a pivot and hoping to contend. Dang, the 1 point loss that is making you head towards potentially taking. That's a bummer. I will wait it out and see what happens the next few weeks before making any big moves. Okay. 2 questions. RB seemed to be the bang for your buck trade. If so, who would you want to move? Josh Jacobs or Kyron Williams? Is it worth it to move Myers or Kittle first? Dynasty, 1 QB, 1 PPR, 8 offensive starters, 4 IDP, a defense and a kicker. I don't know. Do you remember this one? I know I'm kind of putting you on the spot.
I don't remember the roster off the top of my head, but I do remember the format was interesting because it has IDP players, but then also has team defense. So you could have the Bengals defense, but then also have like Myles Garrett. So it's like a completely, like what's going on here. But I mean, I would say in a shallower league, players like a Josh Jacobs, Kyron, they're giving you meaningful production. Sorry, there was a bug. But meaningful production. I definitely want to hold on to more. Someone like a Myers, I'd probably be a little bit more open to moving. Like if I'm just like, can I get some value for him?
Yeah, are people buying?
Kind of hedge my bet. But yeah, I mean, with like 8-something players, IDP too is like hard to get consistency out of. Like, yeah. To me, I'm like, can I buy a cheap IDP like player that has better consistency? Then maybe I'm not losing by 1 point per game.
I know it's tough. Like I don't know exactly the way to value. Like 1 QB makes me really want to lean into like holding unless I'm getting really good value for productive assets, especially like if I'm going to contend next year. Josh Jacobs and Kyron Williams, I assume, are going to be scoring a lot of points for your fantasy teams for the next 2 to 3 seasons with a contract extension. But yeah, the 4 IDP, 1 defense. I'd be curious to see what the like individual defensive player warp. I know you've talked about that in the past. That a lot of leagues, it's like who cares? Like at like if you're, whatever.
You need to start
linebacker,
like 11 or something crazy for it to matter.
So,
but a lot of it's just consistency. Like it's like,
right.
Do you have like a Roquan type player that's just racking up a crazy amount of tackles versus, you have like an edge. Like you can have an edge that just gets more tackles, and that's actually more valuable than like a Myles Garrett typically.
Yeah.
Because Myles Garrett could have 4 points or 30, but it's like, it's like sometimes you're like, I just kind of want you to score 10 points or 20, not 4 points or 30.
Yeah.
But it kind of depends. I think we are 5 spot away.
Yo, what's up, Jesus Saves? All right, I'm gonna switch over to the stream. Let's see, is this overlay good? Oh, let's go. W overlay. Get in here, please.
Oh.
But I guess
get in here, please.
I just it always feels sad when you have to do the you had like the CPU auto pick. Like I guess I could turn off CPU auto pick and we could make those picks. You want to do a team draft for those if we don't get people
make it like an 8-team. Make it an 8-team draft.
That just feels so lame. It's gonna look so loser. Gonna look so loser. All right, we're gonna. I think I see one more chat that got quick deleted. Owen, I have my eyes on you. So once that comes through, I can pull that up. But yeah, get in here. Wait, do we put it in the? You want to put it in the Discord? You have to add everyone.
Discord.
At here? You could do that.
I can do at here. Everyone messages everyone.
Right.
I hear is only the people in Discord.
And we are going to randomize the order, which should be fine because this is all like our perspectives on values. And feel free to tell me why you made your picks. I don't want this to turn into the Will and Jeremy take breakdown. Thinking that here is coming. Oof. Kadranos is ready. Kadranos, are you in here? I see Justin Tack. Yeah, this will be interesting. This ADP sleeper rookie ADP. It
doesn't seem too updated.
Does not. We've got
because who would take Travis Hunter 103?
Yeah. He's got to be at least. Ooh, Daft Punk. Let's go. All right, there we go.
We're filling it up now.
Nice.
There we go. We're coming in.
All right. Yo, what's up, Owen? Are you guys offering trade advice?
Yes, we are offering trade advice. Yes.
Feel free to shoot that in there. We'll still be answering trade questions during the rookie draft that we're about to do once we have the final 2 people to join. But yeah, we got right here. Thinking about giving Herbert, Johnston, and Addison for May and Amon-Ra St. Brown. Is this a redraft question?
Herbert, Johnson, Addison for May, and Amon-Ra. I mean, honestly, it could be either.
It could be either, but my only thing is like the framing of it. Yeah, redraft PPR.
It is redraft, yeah.
Herbert. I mean, I'd take.
Is it one QB?
Especially, I'd assume so. I'm probably. I mean, I like Addison. I don't know if I count on that Minnesota JJ McCarthy passing offense, giving him opportunities to score touchdowns every week and put up 80, 100 yards. So I'm probably. Quinn Johnson's not bad though.
I think I would lean May and Amon-Ra just because
I may over Herbert.
I doubt the league is deep.
Yeah.
Right. Like I doubt the league is deep, and if I can get a wide receiver that's currently like wide receiver 4, wide receiver
like if you're throwing
5,
in Stephon Diggs,
that's going to be way more valuable.
Yeah.
I mean, that being said, I'm a big QJ. I got to get back on the QJ hype train. That being said, offensive line with all the injuries there, I don't know if the game that QJ is, which is a lot of those downfield big, explosive plays, is kind of what takes him over the top fantasy wise. Don't know how many are going to be there if they can't protect Herbert.
All right,
we are 1 away.
1 away. get in here now. And this will be Superflex 12 by 10, 0.75 tight end premium for the rookie draft. Rookie draft.
Close.
Oh, did I just...
Oh,
just
there we go.
All right, I'm hitting...
Let it rip.
Do I hit randomize? Or is this just random enough? This is random enough. Nope. Draft settings. Where is it? Is it randomized order? Draft order. Randomized teams.
The
Bang.
stream.
There we go.
Behind the streams.
I don't have anything
Oh,
to
shoot,
hide.
I'm first.
I'm an open book. Ooh, 101.
I wasn't prepped to go first.
Well, that's how randomizers work, Jeremy. Should have been prepped for every spot.
I know. Well, usually I usually don't have first. So I mean, I guess my thought process here is probably is between a Jinty, a Hampton, or an Igbuka. Just given what's going on. I also like Tet. There's a lot of players I like in this range.
I don't think any are crazy picks, honestly. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm still just gonna go with the bell cow running back.
Yeah,
Ashton Jinty.
I agree.
Like what we've seen him do, even with kind of rough starts to certain parts of the game, is just too good for me to be like, nah, I'm gonna give up after 5 weeks.
Yeah. We see Ibuka at the 102.
102.
Like if I saw, to me, like I'm treating like Ibuka upside as like what JSN's doing right now in his dynasty value. And if I saw a JSN for Genty trade, I wouldn't be like, oh my gosh. You know.
Oh yeah.
We see McMillan at the 103. Hampton at the 104. You know, you get the IR stint, but I mean, if Hampton was healthy right now, I think he'd be in the conversation with the production we're seeing. And we see Quinshawn at the 105. I think he's earned it, especially compared to some of these other options. Like it is a 0.75
I think
tighter
this
premium.
is when it gets interesting.
Yeah, you get
well, actually after Warren. I feel like after Warren, then you're like, okay, does Scattaboo jump all the way up here? Does, you know, how are we feeling about like a Tootin? How are we feeling about
I like the Warren pick.
You know, JCM.
Yeah.
Like that's when like
especially after this last
Iron
week.
Manor.
Like if you I'm envisioning like obviously 4 picks here. You can add these 4 players to your dynasty roster forever, and we get Scattaboo. My only Scattaboo thing, and actually I don't think it's a bad pick at all. Like I think there's a lot to be excited about. What we've seen is like the timing of the Scattaboo breakout. I don't necessarily think it's going to be like back to what we saw at the beginning of the season with Tracy, but I don't think Tracy is like a terrible. And we see Henderson, the 108. What are your thoughts? 108 Henderson while I go to make my pick.
Yeah, I mean, I think Henderson's tough for me just because the talent's there and the hype's there. All he has to do is to like live up to it. But I'm also sitting there and I'm like, how are you not beating out, you know, both Gibson and Stevenson when they just constantly fumble? I do get Stevenson's one of the best pass blocking backs in the league.
Gibson on IR,
but
out for the season.
But
yeah,
I am concerned that he hasn't been able to like be involved in like explosive plays yet.
Yeah,
given what he can do.
Yeah, I know the sentiment's been really down on Cam Ward. I tend to give like rookies a you look terrible pass. Shout out to Scott Connor, Charles Chill FFB. I know he's been documenting the terrible season that Cam Ward has had and that he's in like the camp of the Zach Wilsons of the world. I'm going to do the 109 take lock pick. I'm taking Travis Hunter. I think after this last week, this feels less take locky. I think we can all agree that we saw a little bit, and we see Cam Ward at the 110. I think that's a great pick. Would you have taken either Hunter or Ward over Henderson, or are you still a believer in the draft capital and potential future opportunity?
Still take Henderson. Yeah, I think I'd still take Henderson, but to me, the guys, it's like there's 2 guys in this range that have production that back up what they've done. You know, like, and it's Scattaboo, who's looked pretty solid, and honestly, JCM. We've seen JCM looks really solid. And then we have the other guys that have the pedigree, but just haven't really backed it up yet. And the Hunters, the Hendersons, the Ward. So it is kind of like this range of like, how much do I value like a JCM versus a Henderson? Which is like, I don't think I would value JCM over Henderson yet, but they're certainly like back to back in terms of where I would value them.
I'm so bad at this. Will this help so that people can see the filters of the players? Okay, there you go. If you guys want to filter by players, I added that. I feel like I got self-conscious about it because the last time I added positions, somebody was like, "Oh, I thought we had to fill out the starting lineup," and I was like, "Why the hell would you think that?" But also, I'm sorry for not being super clear, so I'm not gonna yell at you. We see Bill 111. Do you think Bill? At what point would you not scoff? I probably would have taken Bill at the 9. Okay, over
I think at 9.
I actually don't hate that at all. I think the upside bet, like you're kind of betting on. And we see Harvey at the 112. Man, okay, imagine showing this to somebody. Rookie draft season. Corey Krusky Merritt, 111. RJ Harvey, 112.
I have an interesting.
Caleb Johnson, 201. Interesting.
I think, like you said, rookie season. It's hard not to take a first-round quarterback.
I like it.
In the early second. And we've seen he has the rushing upside.
Yeah.
If he can develop the passing game, like I think that's a great value. Considering some of the guys that are underperforming, like a Ward, a Hunter, a Harvey, Henderson, like these guys that should certainly get some opportunity. It's only 5 weeks in.
Yeah.
But we haven't seen it yet.
Brenden at the 202. I like that. I definitely would.
Fannin.
I would be taking Fannin in the early second for sure, especially with the potential. I like the way the Browns are kind of playing, where obviously it feels like they're going to give Dylan Gabriel and Shador a chance to play NFL games this season. But my assumption is that the quarterback is in next year's draft class, and I like what they're doing. They started with Flacco, and it feels like they're like, let's see what these rookies got, man. Let's give Dylan Sampson run. Let's run the ball through Quinshawn once he's back. Let's let Isaiah Bond run a ton of routes. Let Harold Fannin play. So I like what I've seen, and I think the upside for what Harold Fannin could be is exciting. Harvey and Darts.
I think it's rare to see.
I like Harvey.
It's rare to see a tight end break out as soon as Fannin did.
Yeah, and just look good, like winning against linebackers, like as an early rookie tight end. That's like given the opportunity to have that role, I think is awesome. There's another tight end that I think could be in the conversation coming up here pretty soon.
I do agree. I do like Harvey.
The Harvey thing is there is like pluses and minuses. You want to do, like, we saw a little bit too much Tyler Bidet, and there he is, Mason Taylor, coming off the board. I think Mason Taylor deserves the show player card respect, man. I mean, immediately right off the jump, 88% week 1, like he is legit. And I mean this 9 for 67. I mean, a lot of this production is going to feel a little bit inflated with some of these fourth quarter Jets are down 20 points Justin Fields passing numbers, but he looks good. Luther Burden 205. It'll be interesting to see what the Bears do second half of the season with Burden and Colston Loveland. Don't hate that pick at all.
So I guess that the big fallers right now is obviously Caleb Johnson, right, who's pre-draft going in the late first. Colston Loveland is also still out there.
You could probably put these early second receivers. Tootin goes there. ETN's looking pretty good, but you have to be excited at least about the potential. Man, that play made me so sad when he just full speed ran into the defender being blocked. And Woody at the 207. Are you tooting over Woody still?
I think I think tooting the talent is probably more exciting, but also I think
Woody did look good.
What we've seen, you got to go Woody. I think I would personally take Woody. Also, like, the talent of Tootin's more exciting. I know he's been dealing with that shoulder injury basically since week 2, so I know his usage has kind of gone down. So I'm just hoping it's the shoulder, not like something else going on.
I want to talk about this Caleb Johnson pick because I was going to talk about him in this like late second range. I know the run out has been the opposite of the nuts, absolutely terrible. It would be very hard for me to believe that a second round or a third round pick running back, we do not see Caleb Johnson at some point for, if it's not this year with the Aaron Rodgers led Steelers, next year, if this is truly his son run and they have a rookie next season. But here, I think I'm going to do the all take lock team. You guys in? All take lock team. I'm going Travis Hunter at the 109, Colston Loveland at the 209. Top 10 rookie tight end draft capital. I know I pull up this player card. It's gonna look sketchy. This was the start of something new. It feels so good. Like, what was this? 10% snap share, 3 targets, 1 reception for 31 yards. Yes, it was against Dallas, but I think we were starting to see the potential increase in role, even though I think Cole Kmet is not going to go away. Jaden Higgins, I'm a little spooked on just with what the Texans receiver rotation has looked like, but I don't want to be too terrified, 5 weeks into NFL season.
I'm not going to talk about who I am eyeing since there's 2 people ahead of me.
All right. We can go through some of these trades. Felt gross to take Bird in there, but who else? Yeah, I mean, I just took Colson Loveland at 209, so I'm in the same boat. Io Manor, I think he deserves to be at this point with what we've seen from him. I think he feels like he could lock himself into having a reasonable role for this Tennessee team.
That's who I wanted.
That was a good pick.
I feel like Io Manor, I would be taking over like a Johnson, a Higgins, a Loveland at this point.
I, for obvious reasons, as evidenced by my draft pick, would not take him over Colson Loveland in a 0.75 tenor premium, but I think he deserves to be in the conversation in the mid to late second, 100%. All right.
Yeah, his usage has been great.
Question here, Tyler Bishop, rebuilding team in a 10-team start 8. I have 2 first-round picks this year and next year. Should I try and use one of these first-round picks and Addison to trade for Nabers, who is on a contender? 10-team start 8. I'm doing that. I think I'm almost always trying to up tier, even if it feels a little bit risky. I'll let you make this pick here before talking about that.
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute. See who's still available.
Ooh, yeah, I'll talk about this while you're taking a look. I might get clowned for this in Superflex. I think it's worth the gamble. You get Dylan Gabriel, who looked okay. My worry is I just don't know if Dylan Gabriel has like an NFL arm, but he didn't look terrible. My only worry is that we're going to see Shakir this season already. Like that, I think that's already in the expectations, even after. I mean, he played the Vikings pretty close, but that's my only fear is that we're taking half a season for 8 second. Torrey Horton. I like it. I think I'd be
a touchdown specialist right now, but
true.
But if he finds his way on the field, I could see something.
Talk about followers, man. We got Trey Harris, who was like an exciting early second for a lot of people, but I think for obvious reasons, big follower. Who else is a big follower that I'm missing? Besh was kind of already a follower rookie draft season with the Thornton stuff.
I feel like this is around where Jaden Blue, probably Jalen Milroe is borderline getting there. I feel like it was kind of like a late second, early third pick. Just because of the rushing upside. And the idea that what if Darnold isn't good?
Yeah, and he is. He is very good.
And it turns out somehow Darnold is good.
He's getting out there though. I mean, Jalen Milroe is taking NFL snaps. Now, granted, one of them was
one of them was bad.
Fumbled pitch to Kenneth Walker, but you gotta get excited.
I'm a little bit surprised about the Dylan Sampson slide. Because obviously week 1, week 2, everyone's like, oh crap, this dude might be legit. And he's basically falling to where he was.
Yeah. I talked about this in the rookie panic stuff. I was really hoping that the Browns, like they've done this with the receivers and the tight ends. Like not that it's taken over Njoku from the Fanta perspective, but they're using 2 tight ends and using Fanta as a receiver. But I was really hoping that they would relegate Ford and it would be Judkins, Sampson, combo backfield. Ooh, I like this DJ Gibbs pick. I think in like the mid third, when you just are like Ollie Gordon at 3-3 also as well, like these are just going to serve a role. Like Jalen Wright healthy and active this last week. DJ Giddens, maybe you feel a little bit less sure about the RB2 spot behind Jonathan Taylor after the past couple weeks, but Brashard Smith.
Here we go, Dynasty Cluck. I was about to say, I feel like Brashard Smith has shown enough for me to want to take him over some of these other running backs, though.
Yeah.
Given his like work in the pass game, I'm like, okay, cool. Like if he just gets a little bit more, he's a flex-worthy type player.
Yeah.
Oh, what was the trade? Which one was it? The Tyler Bishop trade?
Yeah, I am on the clock here. There's a couple players I'm looking at. This is where we're going back through the take clock still. I still kind of believe that the Browns are using the season to like feel things out, which I don't want to totally throw away the role I think Dylan Sampson could have for this team. Mm-hmm. Some of these early second receivers, we're seeing a little bit of Besh. Don't want to totally give up on Trey Harris. I am actually going to go. There's two tight ends I think are pretty interesting. I think Terrence Ferguson and Aronde Gadsden in a 0.75. We're seeing Gadsden's role increase. Like the production wasn't there this last week, but we're seeing the snap share, route stuff increase every single week. Terrence Ferguson and Gadsden are pretty close for me. We haven't seen much of Ferg, but I'm a believer. We saw one nice reception. I believe they're gonna want to start to use it more. I'm gonna take Gadsden here at the 3.9. I think he probably should be in the conversation somewhere in the mid third with the role increase, especially compared to Conklin and Disley. Got Trey Harris at the 3.10. I don't think that's a bad pick at all. It's one of those things where we are kind of writing. You don't want to write death sentences for rookies 5 weeks into their NFL careers. Mm-hmm. It's just, the first 2 rounds, I think you can a tiny bit when you're comparing what I'm seeing good from other players versus bad for others. But at this range, these are all kind of, you're picking the roles that you feel like these rookies have locked themselves into, and you're picking the upside for prospects that you believe in or like. And I think Trey Harris is like a good situation bet. Samson at the 3.11, good pick.
Bubbles is out here just taking all my guys.
Got the Bill, Io, Samson. W draft. All right, before you get there, I'm going to Will 21 here. Best RB to shoot. Trading a second for. We had the Swift for a second conversation earlier.
Would you do like a Kamara with the potential he might get traded to the Chiefs?
My thing, I saw a report that was like somebody close to the Saints don't really buy that Kamara trade stuff because they think Kamara just wants to retire a Saint and that he would rather not play than trade and play for another team, which I kind of buy, especially what Kamara's had to put up with in his career the past couple years for the Saints.
Yeah, it's kind of like you can go out like a Dirk Nowitzki type of guy.
Yeah. And we see Ferg go there at the 3.12. All right, Jeremy, I'll let you pick here and then I'll come back.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking through what's still there. Gotta go with my guy Kyle. I think he is seeing the field.
Yes, that's huge.
And that's in the 4th round. That's what I want. Can I tell myself a story of him seeing the field a little bit more?
Yeah, I like that pick. I do. We got Big Diaz coming up here. Isaiah Bonds. I like that pick too. These fourth round, like with the roles we're seeing from some of these players, I think a lot of these are really good picks. Simon Charlie Daddy, can't believe I missed this. It's all good, birds. Don't worry. You're getting to experience it. Was between Manungai and Ferg. 10 premium pushed me enough. Yeah, I think the Ferg stuff is interesting. Yeah, we see another Gunnar Helm 10 pick. Tyler Shuck. Shout out to me. He's a guy I definitely took at the early 3rd in a lot of rookie drafts.
Early 3rd, yeah.
Tesla, let's go. Faller. Touchdown machine.
He's a funny player.
He is a funny player.
Like he is literally like if you turned like spectacular catch up to 99, but like everything else was like not there.
I think the tough thing with Tesla is like he's kind of like the type of receiver he is. The Lions are the team you would want him to be on, right? Like just this potential offensive juggernaut. Yeah. Where if he gets the role, and I think some injury stuff might open him up. I think the Lions like Raymond and like some of these other receivers. We see Thornton go there. Shador at the 4.7. It's an interesting conversation, and I'm not trying to Kondranos, not trying to like push anything, but I think the Dylan Gabriel bet, obviously getting the start first, you feel better about. But I think the 2.12 versus 4.7 difference, obviously you have to feel great about that with two Browns quarterbacks I expect to start at some point this year.
Yeah, I mean, they'll definitely give both of them a shot. true. We're one play away from Sanders getting some run.
True. Tesla and Bond. I like that. I don't think there's any tight ends that I would consider. Not your beloved Mitchell Evans, touchdown machine. Oh, and you see Devin Neal there. A couple players I'm
Bond's
interested in.
Definitely exciting though.
I don't want to count out Jarquez Hunter. I think a lot of people do that with rookie running backs that are behind like current tough situations. I do think they like Corum. I think Jack Besh is interesting at this juncture, especially with this team. A couple other receivers I think are kind of interesting. All right, what am I at? 24 seconds. Ja'Cory Brooks. Let's see.
No Mitchell Evans, Panthers tight end.
Hell
Touchdown machine.
Hell no. Yeah, let's ooh. I really wanted to potentially go Hunter there. I think Hunter is still a fine pick.
What a fall. What a fall for
Bash getting out there. I know. Pat Bryant, also another guy who's kind of getting out there a little bit. Not doing much, but 54% snaps. Will Howard, okay. Don't hate that. Fell down deep a Sanders rabbit hole. I have a lot of opinions on the subject. Hey, if you I don't know if this is the place where we're gonna do the full Sanders opinion breakdowns, but I will tell you the internet is a place where you can do that. You can find your spaces to talk Shakir Sanders.
It reminds me of the Discord message in the offseason where you're like, I went down the Darren Waller like
I did.
rabbit hole. Now I'm all in.
Dude,
little did you know.
Big did I know. Not little. Big did I know. Dude, one of the main things was it was like the former coach thing was one of the pieces. The other piece of the Darren Waller puzzle was he talked about how he had to like block or something, and he was like, that made me knew I didn't want to play football anymore. All right, I don't think we're gonna go into the 5th round, but I kind of want to for Jarquez Hunter to get picked. It's because I added all the positions, so we can pause the draft there. But yeah, we should. Actually, I'll keep this up so it doesn't look terrible.
I'm curious what your 8th round rookie redraft pick would be.
My 5th round.
Your 8th round.
Oh, if we got all the way down there, my 8, 9 pick, I'd probably be taking.
You'd be picking some random dudes.
No, I take Efton Chisholm. He'll get out there soon.
I forgot about him.
I take Land Larison. All right.
Jalen Lane.
There's actually a couple of names that probably should still go off the board that should be in the conversation.
Like Ty Felton. Shout out to a Ty Felton lover.
Jalen Lane, I think, is one of those names that probably should potentially get picked.
Yeah, he should be.
Savion Williams taking Wildcat snaps. KLS, I think, could still be in the conversation. Not Arian Smith. This is
Probably Taj Brooks.
Taj Brooks. Jarquez Hunter for sure. I still think. All right, let's do a quick breakdown here. What do you think is the best pick of the draft? Best value on a player?
Best value.
That's not your own.
Well, I'm out of ideas. No, I like Woody Marks at the 2.7. I think given what we've seen of him, the fact that you can get him at the 2.7 is pretty impressive. Still, like I mean, how many of these guys have scored 20 points? And really have like a ton of leeway in terms of what they can actually do. I think Iron Manor as well at the 2.11.
Yeah,
is I could see Iron Manor all the way up here at like the 2.3.
Yeah, if somebody
all these guys.
I mean, like prospect draft capital stuff at this point when you feel, I mean, like you could talk about it in comparison with like a Matthew Golden. Like I think Luther Burden, it's kind of yet to be seen what like the upside could look like in the future, but the Packer stuff always freaks me out with Christian Watson. I saw on a practice field. I saw practice field Christian Watson running routes clip.
Practice field. Which player is the best value to you, Will?
Great question. My eyes are kind of going down to this.
My eyes
are kind of going down to this 3rd round because I think the 4th I like some of these picks, but these are all obviously, we're hitting hardcore flyer territory.
Yeah.
I don't want to get too take lock, but I think like 1 out of 5 weeks of an exciting role for Dylan Sampson makes me really like that 311 pick. I know, people, I think sometimes we can fall into the trap of like a trajectory of a player. So we see, like, okay, great. Week 1 was awesome. But like since then, they hate this guy. And like that is like the future he's on. That's his trajectory. But to me, I just see this, and whatever. Joe Flacco, check down Charlie. But like if Dylan Sampson can overtake the Jerome Ford role, like post bye week, and I think the Browns are going to try stuff out is like my thing. And I think Dylan Sampson, I believe, I mean, it's hard to look at some of these rushing statistics and feel confident in the talent, but I think if he can overtake Jerome Ford, it's worth a 311 bet. But I like these tight ends too. 0.75 tight end premium. Like, I know this isn't exciting, but it's tight ends. It's hard to get on the field when you're behind. Like, it's going to sound weird to say it's hard to get on the field when you're behind Tyler Higbee and Colby Parkinson and Davis Allen, all these tight ends the Rams had. But to me,
those are some good names right there.
Yeah, I don't. And the same thing with Jarquez Hunter. Like and maybe it's falling into the Puka was a major hit trap, but this is a second round tight end who's 6'5", 252, and we saw have a pretty sick 21-yard catch. Like the snap share per reception stuff for Terrence Ferguson off the charts. So only going to get more opportunities going forward. Bang.
I will say, Will, got one more question for you on the draft.
All right, let's hear it.
If we did this draft in 5 weeks from
what
now,
a great question. Go ahead, sorry.
What player in here do you think is going to be the biggest riser potentially?
Biggest riser in 5?
Who could you tell yourself a story about?
Yeah. All right, my eyes are going to go. Okay, like, am I allowed to talk about Colson Loveland again? I think that's my pick.
You think Loveland?
It's going to have to be like practiced 7 days ago. I'm not worried about the health stuff. We had the bye week as well. We talk about the post-bye rookie bump thing all the time. Cole Kmet is going to be involved this year, and obviously with the contract is going to be a part of this team. But I've seen enough of Cole Kmet as a receiving weapon to get excited about what Colson Loveland could be for this team. And I think potentially end of this season, like maybe 5 weeks is a little rich to make the Colson Loveland bet. Like I feel like it's more of a what happens with DJ Moore next year? What does this offense look like in 2 years from now? But to me, I just am a believer in the draft capital, the prospects, Michigan bias. But no, you're fine.
I don't know, chat. I don't know if we should let him pick his own pick.
All right, I got to pick another guy. All right, if I have to pick another guy,
you're good.
It's not going to be any of these handcuffs. Like obviously these running backs that I like their picks. We're just not going to see a huge rise without like major injuries. Let's go. I was gonna go my other own pick. Gadsden.
Like who picked Loveland and
these tight end draft picks are amazing. Let's go.
Loveland, Gadsden, Hunter team looks great.
Let's go. Give me one more Woody Marks week. I think because he's shown it, if he gets another week like that, I think people will buy in.
Yeah. I mean, I think if he gets like 1 or 2 more weeks, he'd be back into the first.
Yeah.
I'd also say like RJ Harvey. I think if he gets a Woody Marks type week, then he'll go from 112 to you're probably taking him with Scattaboo or ahead of Scattaboo, especially with Tyrone Tracy coming back. There's going to be some sort of still committee type rollout of what that will look like.
All right, biggest faller. Let's do 5 weeks, same time.
Just like in general, or like which one do you?
I'm gonna go. I'll start us off. I am gonna go, and it's mostly. I don't think it's a bad pick, but if I have to pick, like potentially, we're looking at this first round, and there's a faller. It is gonna be. I think the Henderson bet people are gonna like be at least take locked into. It's gotta happen at some point. So I don't think he'll be like a huge fall. Like I don't think you're going to be able to.
Henderson.
You're not going to be able to get seconds. Like you're not going to be able to get Henderson for a second. Like they're just going to hold until forever, which I don't think is necessarily bad. I'm not saying that's like the wrong take, but I think it's going to be Scattaboo with Tracy coming back. Like, if that is closer to a split than people think it should be, and like Tracy's involved in, some pass catching stuff, and the offense, I don't anticipate being able to support 2 running back weapons, and the production isn't there like we saw the past couple weeks without Tracy. I think he could for sure fall behind. Bill has a smash week. Travis Hunter, for obvious reasons. RJ Harvey, like you just talked about. These tight ends continue their ascension. But, yeah, you got one?
Biggest fall. I don't want to do you like this. I think Travis Hunter is someone that I
could
see falling.
It's the same thing as Henderson. Falling. Bro, the take lock bros, we're not giving up.
The issue is like he has to be a great wide receiver.
Confirmed. Go ahead.
Outside of his defense, right? Outside of his defense, because he's going to play on both sides, but for him to matter in fantasy, he has to be amazing on the offensive side. And what I can tell myself is the players behind him, all that has to happen is a little bit more, a little bit more for JCM, and all of a sudden everyone's like, oh, JCM over Hunter.
Yeah.
Cam Ward all of a sudden he gets into a rhythm. Okay, well, you're definitely taking Cam Ward over Hunter. Harvey starting to get a rollout. Okay, well, Hunter is now going to fall there. I don't necessarily think the situation is going to get like much worse than it already is for Hunter, but I think it's a lot harder for his narrative to change, for him to rise with a lot of the players behind him. Like Woody Marks. If all of a sudden Woody Marks gets a rollout, gets he's like, hey, you're the RB1. Chubb is just like the third down guy. All of a sudden, Woody Marks is probably going to be up there in that range. And people are like, I just want RB production, not like, oh, what's the offensive defensive snap share going to look like? Is Trevor Lawrence going to trip and get back up, or is he just going to trip and fall down? Like what? There's a lot of guys right behind him that I could tell a story where it's like Jackson Dart has 1 or 2 more good games, and it's like, well, now Dart's probably going to go ahead of him.
Yeah.
Fannin. They trade in Joku. Okay, well, Fannon's probably going ahead of him. He's right at that range where it's like there's so many guys behind him that one thing can turn, and all of a sudden, Hunter just falls 1-2 spots over and over.
I hope my wife is loyal to me as Will is to Hunter. The one thing, my last Hunter cope.
Big deal. That's gold.
Guys, did Hunter not? Like all I need to hear, and I will confirm my take lock, is that he just looks good, man. And I get that it's more than that. I get that it's a bigger bet. I heard what you were saying.
He looks cool in 12.
He does look cool in 12. My only thing is a lot of these 110 through second round assets are not smashing for you point scoring right now. So the patience that you have to have with Travis Hunter, you're having with a lot of these other guys. JCM, I'll give it to you. I think rest of the season could absolutely smash for you. Harvey, I'm not confident in, especially what we saw with Bidet. Woody's roundup? Nick Chubb, it's not Jover.
In 1 week, right?
It's not Jover for
27 points.
Wait, who scored more points this last week? What do we get?
Probably Hunter.
Yeah, 7 for 24 and a target. Get the fuck out of here. My boy had 67%.
Hold on, 34 fantasy points. 34 fantasy points,
and he looked good doing
Woody
it.
Marks has 41 so far. So,
okay. Did you all watch the game last night? Hunter looked great last night. Just not sure about the usage this year.
He did.
Why'd you have to add the last sentence? You should have just stopped at the Hunter looked great last night. Come on.
See, this is the issue. It's like, why am I paying a premium for a player that has to be good on both sides of the field? Unless if they're like, hey, cornerback, we don't really need him. We're just going to roll him out wide receiver. Then we can have the conversation of like, oh,
we got a week of that.
But the issue is I don't want to play that game. I don't, like it's like he might have a bye week 8 times a year because he's playing half defense.
Okay. 67% snap. Like this never falling below 50 is going to keep me going all year, because I actually, and I could be wrong, I actually think if Hunter, like all the playbook stuff, like I believe that that's a big part of it. I actually think he would be potentially pushing 70s. Like, dude, this hits 75, it's over. I'm getting Hunter on every single team. All right, I'm done Hunter take locking. Jeremy Hunter, T-Law doing step bro commercials. Yeah, dude, come on. T-Law doesn't play defense.
I feel like we need to have a
yeah, that's fair.
End of the year. We need to do a fantasy football roast episode, and we just roast.
The worst takes.
We put each other in like the hot seat for a take we made at the beginning of the season.
All right. I want everyone to remember Will's Darren Waller take. Okay, don't forget that. You all laughed at me. I knew there was a door there. You know, made me feel like I was.
If only Travis Hunter had a SoundCloud.
Yeah, exactly. All right, this is a good question. If you're trying to score points, you took Travis Hunter. You were like me, and thought the talent would lead to production immediately. What would you be willing to pivot off of Travis Hunter for? I assume probably not like a rookie. Like, I don't know if anybody's like trying to buy Hunter for like better producing rookies right now. Like everyone that went in front of him. Like Henderson is the same kind of bet of a patience game.
I mean, how low would you go? Like, are you saying like, oh, Davante Adams?
I mean, what am I getting on top of that, brother?
On top of that,
yeah, get out of here.
You got a Jacksonville Jaguar Wendell Robinson. Right
bro, I gave the question to you. You should not throw this question back to me because I'm not pivoting off of Hunter. So I'm riding this take log to the grave. So
that's true. Yeah.
I actually don't even have a lot of Travis Hunter. Is the funniest part. I have him in the Charlie Daddy league, but I think I have like 2 shares. Just because I was so high on, like the running backs.
You got me to drink the Kool-Aid a little bit, and I remember like week 1, I was like, wait a minute, he has to be good on both sides of the field. I don't know if that's gonna work. Yeah, I mean, I think I'd be looking maybe a little bit higher than like an Adams range, or like an Adams in a second or something. If I'm like, hey, I just need production, kind of do a re-roll.
Downs and Harvey. I actually think this is that's a fine.
That's a great value. Yeah. I mean, Harvey went 2 spots
Hunter
later in our rookie mock,
and it's the same kind of patience bet too. Like, and you probably feel. I mean, I know you do feel better about Harvey smashing earlier. I want to answer this question right now because you should do this immediately. Would you take a 27 third-round pick for Michael Carter in a rebuild? Yeah, I mean, 100%. I would take a 4th, especially like if you're locked into a rebuild. I mean, Michael Carter's going to give you, and I like Michael Carter, but are you expecting more than 4 to 6 weeks of this role, which was a good role? But like, yes, he scored the touchdown. Rushing production wasn't great, and they did use Bam Knight, and DeMarcado I don't think is going to be relegated to nothing. But yeah, I would definitely do that.
Yeah, I mean, sell what you can there, especially in a rebuild. It's not like what's the ceiling? You get a second. Well, I mean, for him to be worth a second would be crazy. Yeah. Maybe a third and a fourth. Like, I mean, to me, it's like just take what you can get because someone can say, I'm going to get cold feet and not do that deal.
Yeah.
So like, it's one of those things where it's like the deal helps you just having any picks versus trying to be a little bit extra greedy and getting that extra 4th or whatever.
You have to be super realistic about all your assets. And I probably potentially oversell my players on my teams that I 100% know I'm rebuilding. Like I'm getting picks and I'm getting points off my roster. That's the other part of it too. Like you don't want the Michael Carter points. Like if you're rebuilding and you're tanking for next year, like that 15 or whatever points you got from Michael Carter, like is actively hurting you if you're not competing. Like if your lineup is like, oh, I'm losing every single week, or you're already at the bottom, like you don't want those players. So like getting value for that. Like if nobody would give me anything, I would take Fab for Michael Carter. 14 by 11. Superflex tight, 2 tight end premium, points per first down, not PPR. Hunter for Downs and Harvey. Yeah, taking the running back too.
The 2 starters.
2 starters and the running back. I am not super excited about the Downs outlook. Like the production was really good this last week. It was no Alec Pierce. You got the AD Mitchell sentenced to the Shadow Realm. You had Ashton. Yeah, it was. You had Ashton Doolin taking over that role, and unfortunately, I just think that Downs is not the receiver they want in 2 receiver sets most of the time with the way that this offense is going to operate. And Tyler Warren is the real deal.
Yeah, I mean, I think my counterpoint would just be it's a 14-team start 11. So I mean, like once you get to the 10, 11 spot, you're like, if it can slot in Downs, who honestly cares? Because it's like Downs or like Vidal or someone like gross.
Yeah.
So to me, it's like depth is just going to be valuable. But I do agree with your take on Downs. He's just not a significant piece in that offense.
But it is Dynasty, and I am more down to acquire and hold players I think are good, even if the current situation is not great. All right, Carson here. Oh, there we go. Oh, no, that's not. Here we go. Carson here. Start 2 tight end, no tight end premium. Would you trade away Worthy and Hawk and a third for Jake Ferguson, Travis Etienne, and a second? No tight end premium.
No tight end premium.
It's kind of your feelings on like Etienne versus Worthy. I would be really curious about the format.
I think Jake Ferguson's just such a smash to me.
It's such a smash.
And with Worthy being banged up. And then on top of that, like
you get the second.
I like Tootin. Tootin was mid-second pre-draft. He's mid-second in our redraft we just did. The issue is Travis Etienne looks good.
Where's Etienne going really in a solid redraft? Like, you know, if you're doing a redraft for this season. So like those running back bets.
He's looking like one of the best values from those, you know, rookie draft or not just startup drafts in general or redraft leagues. So I probably would lean just like give me the tight end that's going to get 1 million targets a game, get me the better pick, and get me the running back that's absolutely smashing right now.
Yeah, and I do like Worthy. It's really hard for me to not take the Worthy side. Like I know this last game wasn't great, but you know you're getting some of the injury stuff. I know Rice is coming back, but I think Worthy has shown enough to be a part of the Kansas City passing offense for a long time that I hope is BACK. But yeah, I'm probably taking the ETN for a second side. Like it is nice to get the better pick and what you feel like is the better contending assets for this season.
Yeah.
Thoughts on Derrick Henry going forward, buy or stay away? We talk about him in the video tomorrow. He is one of the most traded players in the past couple of weeks. I am generally
like, comment, subscribe.
It depends. Like obviously it's the price. Like we talked about it where like the days of like a first round pick for Derrick Henry, I am not doing that. I much rather use that pick even on contending teams where it makes sense elsewhere to get points I feel more confident in. But if people are like trying to get them off the rosters for like second and an interesting player, I could see myself doing that. But I'm probably trying to attack the running back position differently.
Yeah, I mean, I think Henry's a good buy now, honestly. Like, I think it's easy to be like, oh, I'm scared about this offense. I mean, how many Pro Bowlers were out last week for the Ravens? Obviously, the Ravens season hasn't gone well. But one thing I learned about Derrick Henry is I'm just never going to bet against the man. Because
True.
I think
got the 2-year deal
6 years ago, first Dynasty League, I traded him away because I was like, oh, this dude's like old. Like he's like 26. It's like the age cliff. Like he's going to fall off. And we obviously know he's done the past 6 years. So to me, he's just an alien. And I assume he's going to have those spike weeks. You're going to be okay with it. Just kind of build your team around the idea that this is kind of a spike week player. Like this, do I need a high floor type week, or am I playing a team I'm projected to lose a lot to? Then I just roll out Henry and be like, okay, like I'm going to live or die with him ripping off a bunch of those 60-yard touchdown runs. But like you said, I mean, it's in redraft, so like it's not like a first round pick. But I do think he's a decent buy, especially if you can get someone that's panicking and trading someone that's does not have the elite upside that Derrick Henry does. Because the fun part about fantasy is like people overreact, especially when they're like week 5 and everyone's like, oh, I need to do this. I need to do this. This is a perfect time to be like, yeah, Derrick Henry's having a terrible year. We don't know he's going to have a terrible year when it matters. In week like 14, 15, 16, 17, like when it actually matters, he could be, you know, that Ravens team could be healthy. And he's someone that does have the outcome that he could crush. So I think it's worth trying to see what you can get. But I also, you know, I'm not going to try to overpay for him for the price of like week 1 Derrick Henry.
Yeah, you're coming up on Rams, potentially no Lamar. We'll see. I know there was like some hope that he would play this last week, and typically right before the bye, like especially with like hamstring injuries too, we see, especially quarterbacks like Lamar, we see them be able to sit, get an extra week through the bye. But 1-5 heading into the bye is pretty sketchy for the Ravens, and I don't think you beat the Rams
this week.
The Rams. I don't think you beat the Rams with Tyler Huntley.
Yeah, that's
even
a tough
though
one.
they need to trade for Mac Jones. They want to beat the Rams. Right. I know we let me double check. Discord, I think we're all through. I do have some waiver claims to make, so I don't mind doing the teams meeting. Give everybody some time back in their evenings. Make your waiver claims for tomorrow.
Time back.
Hit
the Bob Hope question? Do you think Sutton, Myers, Keenan, or Swift in my flex spot? Also pick up Pitts or Taylor in Haskins or Vidal.
Oh, give me. Oh, these are good prospects. I do think the Chargers might just be like the insane pass rate for the rest of the year. I'm going Sutton. My boy was cooking.
Yeah, I mean, I think Sutton. Honestly, Keenan though.
I know.
You just talked about the Chargers pass rate.
These are all great options.
Yeah, honestly, with this team, I mean, I'm okay picking up like a Vidal or a Haskins just as a bet of like maybe I pick up the right one. But for me, I look at my depth here and I say, like there's enough guys here that I feel confident starting. Honestly, any of them. I think Swift is probably
Denver
the one
gets to play
I feel
the Jets.
worst about. Oh, they do?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I would just roll with Sutton. I don't know if Sasa
Chargers get to play the Dolphins.
Oh, actually, never mind. Yeah, 40, you go Keenan.
42.5 over under. Chargers are only 4.5 point favorites in Miami.
What's that offensive line is some trash.
Good question. I think we missed this one too.
Droidetica? Yeah.
12 teams start 10 contending, lots of RB2s. Rome, Zay as top receivers. Would you trade Hendo and a second for CMC to make it to the playoffs? Oof. That's a woof.
Second.
But it's probably the CMC price if you're prying them from a contender. I don't know if I could do it, man. I'd probably find you could find
crazy.
You could find a better deal for Hendo, couldn't you? Could you find a Hendo believer?
I sent CMC for Hendo last week before the games, straight up. And the Hendo owner instant rejected me.
Yeah.
Dude, as a contender that relied on Trey Benson. I was like, dude, like the piece that puts you over the top is a CMC. But yeah, I mean, I think people are starting to get a little scared of that situation, but that's a tough one.
Wow.
It's probably the price though.
I'm surprised. I'm pulling up. This is I don't know what these odds are coming from. Yes, these are ESPN bet odds I've got. Dallas at Carolina. I want you to guess. What do you think the spread is? I'll give you a hint. 49.5 over under. It is the fourth highest.
I feel like it's got to be like Dallas, like 4.5,
3.5. Give it some respect. I mean, you are at home. But,
you get the 3 points from home or whatever,
something like that. Dallas has been pretty good.
I don't think Bryce Young is going to be able to keep us in the game offensively.
But Rico Dowdle can.
He can when you have Tua. Like,
yeah, that's true.
When you have Tua, just like
the Cowboys defense is like arguably. I mean, they made some plays, but arguably as great of a.
Well, I know they're bad, but the issue is their offense is good.
Right?
Like I have no issue with Dak just shredding our offense, and then you have Davante and all them. It's not the same with a Waddle to no offensive line.
What's the spread if Andy Dalton's the starting quarterback? I want to see
+5. Let's go.
I want to see one Andy Dalton game just to get just for Big Bill, just for T-Mac. Give me one Andy Dalton game for science. I just want to see what it looks like. And we can go back to Bryce. It's fine.
T-Mac's gonna be so good once we get a real quarterback.
I'm fine with the Bryce bet for the rest of the year. Like we'll see what he can do. But I just want to see one game for science. All right. Any closing departing words before Will takes an early pee and makes his waiver claims?
Not really. Not really. It was kind of a midweek, right? Week 3 was a rough week for me. Basically, all my teams lost. Week 4, pretty good week. All my teams basically won. This week was kind of a split. I think something that you see is like the rookies that you pick when you pick a rookie like an RJ Harvey or something and lock them in. You're like, oh, sick. I'm going to have guaranteed production right away. You got to be patient with these guys. Eventually, they will come around, but it does take time for a lot of these rookies to have a defined enough role that we feel confident in.
Yeah. My parting words would be, if you're not doing this already, this is the point that is like the most important for you to be very aware of not only your own record and your own direction, but the entire league standings. I am in a league where I was considering tanking. I convinced my manager to let us like see what we can do over the next couple weeks, kind of patchwork together a QB2 room in Superflex. We got Joe Flacco now. Let's go.
Oh,
I think he's going to start this week too, which we need him. No JJ this week for us, so we need him. But I think the main reason why I was saying that was we probably should be tanking. But I looked at some of the other tanking teams, and we are like very close with the tanking teams in terms of max points for at this point, because some of these tanking teams are refusing to trade away their Davante Adams, their Saquon Barkleys. They're like 1-4 right now, and they just won't trade them away. Like we got asked, the Saquon owner wanted Ladd in a first. And we were like, dude, why would we do that? Like our team is bad. And 2, why am I adding a first onto like a young receiver who's, whatever, disappointing to start the season, but it's not like Saquon's giving us smash production. So you need to be very aware of yourself. It should impact your direction. Like 90% should be the state of your team, and the other 10% should be like what's happening around the league, what's realistic for you to actually tank down to the, first couple picks if you need to do that. And don't give up too soon if you don't have to, man. It's a lot more fun to compete. We play this game for fun, right? We want to win and we want to have fun. All right, that was a good
true
good
words
outro.
right there.
Appreciate you all. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you are subscribed, alerts on maybe if you're feeling frisky, or like a super team. Wow, made that.
Ooh, nice plug. There we go. He's back. He's got it.
I'm back.
Let's
go another hour. Come on, give me some more trades, guys. No, we got a video coming tomorrow. 5 most traded players. Taking a look, breaking down 2 trades for each of them. It's a good time. Was a good time. Will be a good time tomorrow. Appreciate you all. Peace out. See you next week.
Peace out.